Hey, it's the Daily Host, and today I'm going to be playing Pauper for the FNM at home event. So the deck I'm playing is a Rakdos burn deck, all sorts of creature removal for pretty cheap. It's all four ofs, uh, and a couple just creatures that will help out finish the game. So there's the deck. Pretty simple. I don't really have to explain it. Each card individually, but you can take a look at it if you want. Anyway, I missed last FNM at home, which I believe was Artisan, but I'm here now for the Pauper event. You don't see this undead avatar too much because it's literally not a very exciting avatar. Hello, I have no soul and no personality whatsoever. That's kind of the message it brings to me. Let me know what you guys' avatars are down in the comments. This looks like a good hand. Hopefully we'll draw another swamp for some Soren's Thirst action. But you don't need too many lands in opening hand in this deck. Perfect draw. So we'll see what he plays next. And react depending on that. Okay, looks like he's doing that as well. I love these hidden squirrel lands that I got. Pretty funny. So, I think this is pretty safe. And I'm actually not going to search my library. Or not search my library, but discard and draw one. That's what I meant. Oh, I forgot to put the sleeves on. Next game I'll have to put sleeves on there. But I think it's a very solid deck. If you want to build your own Pauper deck, I personally suggest just putting the filter on common cards that you only have, or that you have all four of, and just making a really consolidated, specifically themed deck of any variety. But with only commons, it's usually not advisable to try anything crazy. Although that's not necessarily true every time. I'm dropping Scorch Spitter so that I can keep open next turn. Boot Nipper. Alright. Boot Nipper is leaving the battlefield, unfortunately. I didn't expect it to get so much play, but apparently it is. Okay, let's get some creature presence out on the board. I would hate to see a Cry of the Carnarium. I don't think that. Never mind. It's not common. Gotta get used to Pauper. It's not my favorite format, as it just kind of takes away a lot from Magic, but it is always interesting to try out. So interesting, just a 2/2. You never see that card. I didn't even know it existed. This is just like a burn beatdown deck. Deal with their threats. They can't get too much done. I am going to discard that. It will gain them a little bit of life, but it's worth it because then I get to go like this and deal quite some damage. Game is looking good. these. So aggro is going to be a really good matchup for us. Gotta get rid of that before he has any other creatures. And hit him in the face again, bringing him down to 2. And us up to 35, so I would be surprised if he didn't concede right here, but who knows. We've got 4 shocks in the deck, so even if he does to somehow remove our board, we're all good. Okay. Good game. So, obviously this deck is fairly effective. Especially against these matchups where most creatures are power 2 less. And also 3 we could kill fairly easily. So I'm gonna just put some sleeves on my deck and then hop into another game. No! That was actually a really good impression. I know you can't hear the game audio, but it sounded exactly like the troll sounded. No! Kind of hurts my throat though. Forgive me if I have a scratchy voice for the rest of the video. So I got these sleeves right before I got these, which is a bit of a waste since I always use these, but I do have both. So maybe we can get both of the wins here. This card is the one that lets you bring things back as 1/1s, kind of like the Nightmare Shepherd, but as an enchantment. Mardu, I think. Interesting. It's Offspring's Revenge. I've never built a deck around that, but it could potentially be interesting. Another thing about this deck is, besides being unlucky with lands, it's very easy to get a good hand, a good curve. Because of just how overall consistent the deck is. So this will get dropped. Essence Scatter. Okay. Let me see an Essence Scatter predicted. Um, that's probably not the worst thing. That is not. That is not staying alive. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cycle this. I don't need it at the moment, but that can be a good finisher. And it has cycling, which means if we have it in our hand and we don't want it, it's easily replaceable. So you don't need too many lands in this deck, which is why I put that down. Like 4, 2 of each color. That's all you really need. So very reliably deals with any creatures our opponents may throw out. That is not a very good creature at all. Not sure why that exists. I assume for the purposes of draft, because the mana cost to stat line ratio is awful. It's terrible. Keeping that for Some fodder. So you get 5 damage in here. Not sure what chill block. Sorry, not 5 if he blocks that. So hopefully we can draw another burn spell of some kind. Otherwise he may get a bit ahead of us in creatures. Oops, I should have cycled this first. That's fine. Next turn this will be dying. Blood Burglar isn't so bad. It's standard stat line plus an extra ability. So this is going through. As next turn we should be able to win. Okay. That's unfortunate. But that's okay. Hopefully you draw into a shock or some kind of other. Whisper Squad. Quite good. Really builds up a board state. Okay. If we draw a shock, we win, I think. 1, 2. Soren Surst. Acceptable as well. Okay, never mind. I was thinking maybe that was a misplay, but we're all good. So you can't quite kill me next round. Paying to cycle. Draw a shock off the top. Oh, no problem. I'm hoping to draw into one of those nice things that deal 4 damage to a creature and 2 damage to the controller, or simply a shock would work as well. Fine. So we will be getting another Whisper Squad. So we have 7 things left in our deck that could win us the game next turn. And that's one of them. So we could have a counter. I'm gonna wait until he maybe potentially tap. Oh, he has no hand. Perfect. Good game. So there we go, 2-0. A fairly effective, consistent deck for Pauper if you want to try it out. Otherwise, I highly just recommend making another archetype, but still consistent 4-ofs. In Pauper, you don't want to be too highly reliant on a specific card. So anyway, yeah. My throat's sore from that Feasting Troll King impression, but next episode, hopefully it won't be, and that's all for now from the Daily.